good evening, good morning, depending on your time zone. This time we are simply announcing the big new project that we are going to embark on together. So I hope you have all checked that communication charter that I placed in the group description. It's just a matter of a couple of obligations. We expect people to be active. We want to see you occasionally on our Zoom calls, etc., etc. Nothing too demanding. We try to be not demanding. Also next time when somebody shows up 7 minutes after the beginning, you are risking your participation. But Espoir from Bukavu in Congo is somebody we also want to see again and let him get in. Brenda also promised to show up about 10 minutes after the beginning. So today there is some flexibility, but in general, we are trying to implement a simple rule. After 5 minutes, you're in danger of not being let in. Everybody's most welcome to be very much on time next month. We are coming together like this every second Saturday of the month. At the end of this month, there's going to be an in-person session at Lake Bunyani where we are going to be able to talk to our people face to face. But of course, there's also going to be a digital side to it. So first of all, we want to combine guide training with more focus on the media side of it all, taking good photos and videos and other things that have to do with storytelling. That can help you in any aspect of life. To be able to tell a story is really, really useful. So we don't want to discourage those who have no interest in being tour guides. It shall be training that applies in so many ways. And the third part, which is related to the other two, is this is training about communication, about how to express yourself, about how to be clear when you want to pass your information to other people. So a mixture of communications and guiding, and also, of course, knowledge. We shall be sharing things that we think everybody should know, or at least can be entertained by. So we are going to end up with something that guests and tour guides can read together and have fun and discuss and pretty much, how to say, have a debate about what responsible tourism is all about, how you can visit an area and leave a positive impact instead of destroying it. So I already mentioned the clients, but there are also local partners that we want to engage and make part of, especially those with whom you sleep for a night. If you come to their village and they host you and feed you and everything, they're also part of it. Just 2 days ago, Sasha and I went to Lake Kayumbu in Uganda to check on a new family that was sent there by Church of Uganda. The Anglicans, they periodically change people at different churches, and it's going to be the first time for them to meet our guests next week. So we went to see them, discuss with them, give them advice, and also just see how they are and who they are. Sasha, were you happy with them? What do you think about the family there, the Mama Abi and Papa Abi?
First, they were still like getting used to the place because of like they changed the place, they changed the location, and they were not used to what they like. The living up, the upgrade was
Downgrade, serious downgrade. That place is so basic.
So they were like still trying to fit in, but then they are very happy to continue our hosting our people as the other family used to do. And it's a good family, very very cool with cool kids.
Very cute kids.
Yeah.
Very cute kids.
Why did you leave me behind and you passed through my town and you didn't let me know, you guys?
Olivier,
Why?
if you knew how our Thursday looked like, it was jam-packed because straight from Lake Kayumbu, we went to Mgahinga National Park.
I mean, he saw the message in the group.
That was a burn. One of the new things that appear in our WhatsApp group is also a weekly report. And in that weekly report, it was very clearly stated, hey, Sasha, Diana, and ML are coming to Kisoro. And then you can reach out. That's the whole point of our report, so that we keep you updated. And you knew we were coming. Haha.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm going to be super active now.
We also want local partners to feel part of it. At the 25th anniversary, we even told them that we are willing to give them smartphones and such things in the future to help them be connected with us, not just because of WhatsApping, but also that the same a guide has unique opportunities to, uh, capture a moment that we don't always see. Also, a local host, also a homestay owner can take photos for us that we cannot get. Lake Kayumbu is incredibly scenic with that cliff over a small lake with one island. Sunsets are unbelievable. So if you have somebody there who can take photos of the best sunset that month, everybody benefits. So all in all, we should find a way of also integrating local partners in what we are going to start now.
I would like to know which method do you use just to recruit people to make them invited in our group? Are there some rules and regulations to be recruited? How people should be recruited to make sure should be involved in our group? Just to clarify that. Thank you.
Last time we simply announced it and everybody was welcome to join, and we got some assholes included. So, but those ones, that was very easy because we just kicked them out.
This time is going to be different and bit serious because this time is going to be in two stages. If we are going to put out an application form, as we normally do for when we are like hiring for people in the office, and then they are going to go through some stages.
Okay, so we are going to vet them before we add them.
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing is how we are going to do this. So imagine that we are writing a book together. Imagine that we are brainstorming at this stage. So I'm going to be the main person throwing things into the group, a little, like as much as I can, in an order, like follow some structure that I think of. But everybody else should feel free to randomly put in anything that they would want to have in such a book that explains responsible tourism, the way we do things, hospitality, the media, and everything else to whoever is reading. So you should be extremely free in terms of at what point you submit something that is important to you, but it's better if that is related to our daily submission. Like if you can connect whatever you want to share with that day's topic, most welcome. If it's something else, also great. Send us stuff that makes sense, and please avoid AI. We don't like AI. Or if you really feel uncomfortable submitting something without first visiting your friend Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever, please tell that software correct without losing my voice, or say only correct what is necessary. We don't like that overly polished AI output that loses everything that makes you, and at the same time so obviously sounds artificial. That is, by the way, also my little advice to all of you. I've been noticing Some of you taking pretty much anything through AI before you put it out in a message. Almost everybody's going to see that. So tell the machine to keep your voice. Tell the machine to make sure that your information is not lost. And then also check what the machine has produced. Don't just blindly copy and paste what the stupid program has for you. And I'm talking as somebody who uses Claude a lot. I just use it very critically and never starting with it, starting with me, and then maybe he has some improvements, or maybe some I simply don't agree and I don't use them. Have a conversation with your robot. I'm just saying, don't be afraid of expressing yourself in the best way you can. That is preferable to some super polished AI output that loses everything that is there, that makes you you. And we are going to go through this thing step by step. I'm going to send drafts into the group. You'll be extremely welcome to provide your feedback, correct if something is not true, etc., etc. So I really want everybody to feel free, and not just free, encouraged. And that's what you could also see in our communication charter. We at least expect you to send a thumbs up or whatever you want to as an emoji, as a reaction. Just don't be quiet. Show us that you are part of it. The one thing that I would not want you to put into the WhatsApp group are photos and videos. We're also going to be advising you in terms of how to take better pictures and record better video. But if you put it on WhatsApp, it loses quality and then it's hard to judge. Everybody who is part of this team and part of this training is going to get a Trello board. If you don't have it yet, if you are new to it, don't worry. We are going to teach you how to use it. There's going to be an instruction document. Our office can assist you or whatever. And you're going to be putting things that get compressed on WhatsApp on Trello, because that's where we can see it in its real resolution. It comes there just the way it was recorded. And then we can decide to share some of those photos with the rest of the team. That's what I'm asking you. Videos and photos on Trello, everything else into the WhatsApp group. Feel free, but if it has some connection to what we are discussing that day, to what my document is going to be about, even better. Dom, did you have any thoughts? Denise, did you have any thoughts?
In this medium of the internet world we live in, it's all about the visuals, you know. The text is, of course, it helps, but people aren't being drawn in by text. They're being drawn in by pictures of, you mentioned sunsets, pictures of children. Uh, those kinds of things draw people in immediately. When you're scrolling through, as so many people do, dozens or hundreds of images, those are the ones that'll grab people, things like that.
If I can add to that from my personal experience, so that man taught me television. And one of the things that I really remembered was that he told us to never, ever misspell somebody's name. And that would be so useful for everybody who is on this call, because we live in a culture where you yourself, you change your name spelling every day, where R and L don't matter. But what Dom told us is very important. People can tolerate that you are misspelling their name, but they're going to be much happier if you do it proper. So such basic things that have to do with writing, with how you come across as a professional, they are still as important as they were when, I don't know, I sat in that classroom 20 years ago. So Dom, it's not just pictures, it's text too. And
Did you
you
say
being
20 years ago? It was 30 years ago.
Yeah, whatever. Time
But
is
I'm so
passing by.
glad you remember that lesson because that is so important. What's more personal than your name? And we assume, especially if it's a common name, I'm a Westerner, so common names are things like John and Mary here. But John can be John, it can be Jon. There are some people who would even spell it Jonn. So even if it's a name you think you know the spelling for, ask, make sure you do it correctly, because that is what's more personal than your name.
What I wanted to share, like especially in communication, and it's something that sometimes it's missing, but not so much in this context. I feel it's like to really show the personal touch. Like, so what's the story behind people, and what is your daily life? No, because I think that as a foreigner, like we are always like really keen on knowing what is going on, like in daily life for people, and that sometimes it's something that is missing, and that I fear that maybe people like also on the ground are undervaluing, in the sense that their daily life is also like extremely important, like for a foreigner, no? When you're coming, like what you're eating, what you're seeing, how you relate with other people, all those kind of little anecdotes that also we talked about in Pocket Treasure, for example, it's something that is really valuable, no?
Thank you. What you said is really one of the challenges that we are facing, because it's difficult for somebody who is local and has not been abroad to even know what is different, what matters. You know, to them, their life is boring, while to an outsider, their life is super interesting. What Denise was saying also touches on the main thing that I wanted to stress. For those who are maybe not, how to say, common around here, I want to emphasize that we don't see ourselves as a tour operator, tour agency, or anything. We also do those things, sure, but our main role is, you know, sharing the story of this region. We want to tell the world that this region has a lot of potential. We want to convince local people that there is so much here that we need to be proud of. So when we share our stories, that's the main thing, not promoting us as a provider of tours or treks or anything like that. And that's why it's also important to engage our guests, because they become the best possible ambassadors. These are the ones who can then go home and convince others to also come. I mean, just by coming back alive, they're already promoting our region. so we are fighting quite a war here against people's preconceptions, fears, and everything else when it's about, you know, Black Africa, the deepest Africa. We are right in the center of the continent that most people are kind of afraid of. So yeah, together we shall be, you know, training everybody to become better communicators, specifically in the context of the region, you know, making sure that the world starts appreciating what we have here.
I can imagine that the documents are already like prepared, or like there's already like training material. Is there like something that you're still missing in that training, like an aspect that you would like to emphasize, like in the future?
This is also, how to say, pressure put on me to daily go through what we produced years ago and now look at it with fresh eyes, look at it with more target audiences involved. So I'm going to share the essentials with both you and Dom. And so that you see what we kind of covered some years ago, that you get an idea. It was more guiding oriented than we are going to be talking now. Now we are going to be broader, but that's going to be like, how to say, the starting point. And then every day we add to it. Maybe we add completely new chapters, but it's mostly going to be about rewriting and refreshing content. And it's just better to do that day by day than, you know, to throw at somebody 100-page book. So it's going to allow us to chat about things, and then at the end, there's going to be a product.
For me, I wanted to
mention about young people as always. As I know the media, we really like that you always covered us. Are you also thinking about us or?
So for those who are new, Ms. Higaro sneakily brought in the question of our youth program. That is, of course, part of everything we are doing. Ms. Higaro should be thinking, how do I include the most promising Illumineers to be part of this? Not like what they're going to do for us. Ms. Higaro, give us people, we already have a number of them among us, but maybe there are others, so that they help share that story.
The training is very, very helpful things for the guys, especially because it's also something which helps you through all the work we do every day with the guests. For me, recently, I attended some of the trainings which are level 1. So like for the trainings, maybe we are planning, I don't know in the end, if people finish to do the trainings, if they will be getting certificates for that, because also the certificate helps to prove you that you've done those trainings.
The last time we did it, it was in 2 phases, but the second phase never happened. What I can take the blame for, just got too busy. Certificates are definitely going to be part of it. All in all, you can expect a mixture of level 0 and level 100. Some things that you're going to be reading are going to be like, of course, and other things are going to be, oh my God, because we are a little bit different. We are not exactly your standard guide training business. We put things in that are going to be new and different and hopefully engaging.
I just also wanted to encourage everyone to maybe, take the training, because not only that helps them do the job well, but also in the day-to-day living, they improve certain ways of communicating with other people.
I want to thank you for coming through, for coming from all parts of our region. It was an extremely regional call, not to mention some Europe and America mixed in. Let's hope we can meet again in 1 month, do a lot of positive, encouraging, creative work in the meantime in our WhatsApp group.